Alright guys, let's make a alcohol stove out of a Mountain Dew can. See how it works. Alright guys, so this is going to be the video on how I put together this rubbing alcohol stove. Basically, all you're going to need is a pop or a beer can, some type of beverage can. Whoa, Nelly. A knife, which I'm just using my older, it's an M-Tech USA. And some rubbing alcohol. This one's 91%. I have another bottle that's 70%, but we're going to use the 91% because it just makes sense that the higher alcohol content, the hotter it would go. So, move that out of the way for now. Here is the one that you saw in the burn video at the beginning. This is the first one that I made. It's about 3 inches high. Top's cut out. Then you can see the little ridges on the inside. But we'll show you how to make that. So, alright, here we go. First off, let's make sure you gotta remove the top of the can. Just make sure whenever you're doing this, you just go back and forth with your knife until it punctures through, and then just work your way the entire way around the top of the can here. It takes a while, but it fell through, but basically I just want to clean up the edge a little bit. Alright, that's good enough. It's not completely cleared off, but just for the purpose of this, you can do however much you want, to get that cleared off, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Alright, I went ahead and cleaned this up a little bit. That's just a paper towel down in there, trying to get some of the pop that was down there soaked up. But next what we're going to do is we're going to cut the can kind of in half. Basically, what you want to make sure is that whenever you cut the can, that the top part, the part that you cut the top off of, is longer than the basin that you're going to put the rubbing alcohol in, so that whenever you put it together, so whenever you go back together, that the bottom of the top piece is resting the whole way at the bottom of the basin, so that it sticks up. So basically, to cut it in half, what you do, the way I do it, I go a little bit down beyond the halfway point, and you're just going to do the same thing. Just work your knife back and forth till it goes through. Try to go straight through the can to the opposite side if your knife's long enough, and try to go through that other side just so that you have a reference point for so it's a straight line across. See how the tip came through? So now you have a reference point so that it stays pretty much straight. And then just basically, you can do it two ways. You can either cut it the whole way around with a knife, or you get a pair of scissors. So, good Lord. Alright, so there we got our two halves. Now we have to even them out, and as you can see, this one, I'm going to cut this one down some, and then just even this one out just so that it's a little bigger. So, alright, I'm just going to even these out just with a pair of scissors, just trimming up around here just to make sure that it's semi-flat. Now maybe just cut a little bit more off this side here. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be the bottom basin part, and that's all you do with that. That is completely done. So we're going to set that up here, and then with this, you can see how it's a little bit larger, which is cool. So we just have to trim this off just so that it's a little more even. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so here we go. We got our bottom. That's done. Now we just have to work on the top. Alright, now comes the fun part. What we're going to need to do with the top piece is, hopefully that's coming out decent enough where you can see it. See how it has like the little ridges in it? That's what we got to do next. So to do that, you're going to need your knife, and this is where this you got to watch yourself on this because you can definitely cut yourself in through here. 2 fingers, stick them in the pop can so that they come down to the bottom. Now, up on the top part, it has a lip to it, so it's a little bit more reinforced. You want to put not a whole ton of pressure, but enough to make that you know that you made a divot in it. So make a divot. I don't even know if that's going to come through. But I mean, you have to, this is your channel where the fuel is going to come up through, so you have to make sure that the divot's there, and then just follow down in between your fingers and just make a crease. So you make a divot at the top and then follow the crease the whole way down. Then you're just going to move your fingers up 1 finger space. So right here is the crease that you just made. There's your 2 fingers. Go straight up and down. Make your divot up at the top. Make sure that you know you made it. And then go down to the bottom and crease it. Then again, just move up. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that the whole way around. Same thing. You're going to make the divot at the top. Make sure that the channel's good. Crease it the whole way down to the bottom. Alright, just go the whole way around. Alright, now we did that the whole way around. You can see where it has like the same pattern. Now this is the part that was a pain in the ass for me the first couple times, is trying to get the top to fit into the bottom, just because it's so out of shape. So you just have to mess around with it till you get it in. But then once you get it in and you get it formed, it seems like it works out really well from there on out. Alright, so that's it, it's in. The last thing you need to do is make I always call them carburetor holes. With the video that I first watched, they said to only make 1, but with mine, what I found out was 1 wasn't enough. I ended up having to make 3 of them. But basically all you do is just take your knife, just very lightly at the very top, just start twisting back and forth just until you poke through. You don't want it real big. Okay. As you can see, that's not real big at all. But I did 1 on this side, 1 on the other side, and then I'll just do 1 on one of the other sides. And if I need more air, I'll just add another one. Alright guys, I'm thinking I'm pretty much done with this. That's it. All you have to do is, I got my 3 carburetor holes, 1, 2, 3. Just so you guys, I don't even know if this is going to show up that well or not. Oh yeah, it does. Now let me pull it out a little bit. But if you notice how these channels, you have to make sure that your channels are open the whole way to the bottom, because basically whenever you put the alcohol in it, you light it, this is all going to flare up. And then once it flares up in the middle, it's going to start coming out the sides, and it's going to, whenever you put your pot or whatever over top, this is just a representation of a small pot, but basically you're covering the whole actual top, and then that forces the flames to come up through the sides, and then that's it. We have our little rubbing alcohol pot. Alright, I'm going to go out and do a time lapse to see how long it takes us to boil 2 cups of water.